Lily Martinez loved her quiet life. Her small house sat far from the busy city, hidden among tall trees and colorful flowers. As a plant scientist, she enjoyed the peace. Her days were filled with studying rare plants, writing notes, and taking long walks in the woods. She never expected visitors, especially not from the stars. That changed on a warm summer evening. Lily was watering her garden when a strange sound filled the air. It started as a soft hum but grew louder until it shook the ground beneath her feet. She looked up to see the clouds part as something large and dark pushed through them. A ship, not like any airplane or helicopter she had ever seen. This was smooth and black, shaped like a teardrop with no visible windows or doors. It glowed with a faint purple light as it hovered over her yard. The plants around her swayed as if caught in a gentle breeze. Lily should have been scared. She should have run inside, locked the door, and called for help. But something kept her rooted to the spot. Maybe it was her scientist's curiosity, or maybe it was something else. A feeling she couldn't name that pulled her toward the strange craft. The ship landed softly on her lawn, barely bending the grass beneath it. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then a seam appeared in the smooth surface, widening into a doorway. Light spilled out, not harsh and white like she expected, but soft and purple. A figure stepped into that light, tall and slender, with skin that wasn't just purple but seemed to contain tiny stars. When the visitor moved, those stars shifted and twinkled like a living galaxy. Her hair, for the figure was clearly female, floated around her head as if she were underwater, black with streaks of silver that caught the fading sunlight. "Hello, Lily Martinez," the visitor said. Her voice was like music, with a strange accent Lily couldn't place. "I am Commander Zara Vex of the Nixian Exploration Fleet. I hope I'm not disturbing you." Lily found her voice at last. "How do you know my name?" Zara smiled, revealing teeth that gleamed like pearls. "We've been watching your planet for some time. Your work with adaptive plant species is quite impressive." In the days that followed, Zara became a regular visitor. She claimed to be studying Earth's plant life, and Lily found herself sharing her knowledge freely. They spent long hours in the garden and the small greenhouse behind Lily's house. Zara asked countless questions, her strange eyes wide with genuine interest. What started as scientific discussions soon became more. They shared meals under the stars, with Zara telling stories of worlds Lily could barely imagine. Places where the oceans glowed at night, where plants could speak, where cities floated in the clouds. 3 months into these strange meetings, Lily realized something had changed. The way her heart raced when Zara's ship appeared over the trees, the way she found herself counting the hours until their next meeting, the way her hand sometimes brushed against Zara's strange, warm skin sending sparks through her body. One night, as they sat on Lily's porch watching the stars, Zara turned to her with a serious look. "I haven't been completely honest with you." "Lily," she said softly. Lily's heart sank. "About what?" "About why I'm here." Zara took a deep breath. "I am indeed a scientist, but my primary mission was not to study your plants. It was to study you." "Me? Why?" Zara's eyes seemed to hold entire galaxies as she looked at Lily. "My people, the Nixians, have a gift. We can sense connections across space and time, souls that are meant to find each other. When I felt your pull from halfway across the galaxy, I had to come see for myself." Lily tried to process this. "You're saying we're, what, soulmates? Your Earth myths have many names for my kind. Succubi is one, not because we drain life as your stories claim, but because of our empathic abilities. We feel emotions deeply, our own and others." Zara reached out, her starry fingers hovering just above Lily's cheek. "What I feel from you is extraordinary." "So you're not really here for science?" Lily said. Zara laughed, a sound like wind chimes. "Oh, the science is real. But it was my excuse to stay to see if what I felt was true." Her face grew serious again. "There's more you should know. My people are part of a galactic alliance. Earth isn't ready for full contact yet, but some of us are allowed to make special connections." That night changed everything. What followed was a year of discovery, not just of Zara's world, but of a love unlike anything Lily had imagined. They explored each other as thoroughly as they explored the woods around Lily's home, finding new wonders every day. Then came the message. Zara received it on a small device she wore on her wrist. The look on her face as she read it made Lily's stomach knot with worry. "What is it?" she asked. Zara looked up, her starry face unreadable. "It's from the High Council, my family. They want to meet you." "Your family?" Lily repeated, stunned. "Meet me? How would that even work?" "They want us to come to Nixos Prime, my home world." Zara took Lily's hands in hers. "This is unprecedented, Lily. Humans aren't supposed to know about us yet, let alone visit our worlds. But my mother is the High Counselor, and she's curious." "You want me to go to space? To another planet?" Lily felt dizzy at the thought. "I know it's a lot to ask." Zara's grip tightened slightly. "But something is happening, something important. I think this is about more than just us now." Lily looked at the woman she had grown to love, this beautiful, impossible being from beyond the stars. She thought about her quiet life, her plants, her small place in the world. And she thought about the universe that Zara had opened up to her, vast and full of wonders. "When do we leave?" she asked. Zara's smile was like sunrise on an alien shore. "Tomorrow. We'll take my ship," the nebula whispered. "It will be a journey of 7 of your Earth days." She pulled Lily close. "Don't worry. I'll be with you every moment." As Lily fell asleep that night, wrapped in Zara's strangely warm embrace, she wondered what she was getting herself into. Meeting her girlfriend's family was stressful enough on Earth. What would it be like to meet a family of alien succubi on a distant world? Whatever happened, she knew her life would never be the same again. The morning came too quickly. Lily packed a small bag with shaking hands. What did one bring to an alien planet? She settled on some clothes, a toothbrush, and a small notebook. It seemed silly, but also necessary. She wanted to record everything she would see. Zara arrived just as the sun rose. Her ship gleamed in the early light, its black surface reflecting the pink and orange sky. Lily took one last look at her little house, her garden, the life she had built. Would she ever see it again? The thought sent a chill down her spine. "Are you ready?" Zara asked, her voice gentle. Lily nodded, not trusting herself to speak. She followed Zara into the ship, stepping through the strange door that seemed to appear and disappear like smoke. Inside, the nebula whisper was larger than it looked from outside. The walls curved in smooth lines with no sharp corners anywhere. Soft lights pulsed along the floor, leading them to what Lily guessed was the main control room. There were no buttons or screens that she could see, just smooth surfaces that glowed under Zara's touch. "Sit here," Zara said, pointing to what looked like a chair grown from the same material as the floor. "The first jump can be intense." Lily sat, feeling the chair mold to her body. "Jump? How we travel between stars. Your body will feel strange for a moment, but it passes quickly." Zara took her own seat and placed her hands on a glowing panel. "Hold on to me." Lily reached out, gripping Zara's free hand. The ship hummed, the sound growing until it filled her head. The walls around them became transparent, showing the trees and mountains of Montana. Then everything stretched, as if reality itself was being pulled like taffy. Lily's stomach lurched. She closed her eyes. When she opened them again, Earth was gone. In its place was the most beautiful sight she had ever seen. Stars, millions of them spread out in all directions. No longer dimmed by Earth's atmosphere, they blazed with colors Lily had never imagined stars could have. "Oh," she whispered, her eyes filling with tears. Zara squeezed her hand. "First time is always emotional. We'll make several more jumps before we reach Nixos Prime." Over the next 7 days, Lily learned more about Zara's world than she had in their entire year together. The Nixians were one of the oldest races in what they called the Galactic Concordat, an alliance of peaceful worlds. They had watched Earth for centuries, waiting for humans to advance enough for contact. "Most species in the Concordat think humans are too aggressive," Zara explained as they floated in the space between stars. "Too emotional, too unpredictable. But not you?" Lily asked. Zara's star-filled skin shimmered as she laughed. "Oh, I think humans are very emotional." "But that's what makes you special. You feel so deeply, love so completely. My people can live for 1,000 years, Lily. We've learned to control our emotions, to take the long view. Sometimes I think we've lost something important along the way." Lily learned about Nixian society, how they were led by a council of matriarchs, how their empathic abilities allowed them to settle disputes before they turned violent, how they valued art and science equally. Zara was considered unusual among her people for her interest in other worlds. "My mother wanted me to join the council," she said one night as they shared a meal of strange fruits that changed flavor with each bite. but I always wanted to explore, to find new life, new ideas. She looked at Lily with those galaxy eyes. New love. But there was tension in Zara's voice when she spoke of home, something she wasn't saying. On their 5th day of travel, Lily finally asked the question that had been bothering her. Why does your family really want to meet me? I can't be the first human a Nixian has connected with. Zara was quiet for a long moment. You're right. There have been others, though not many. But this is different. She sighed, a sound like wind through leaves. The truth is, Earth has caught the attention of more than just us. There's another group, the Draxian Empire. They're not like the Concordat. They don't seek peace. They conquer. Lily felt cold despite the ship's perfect temperature. They want to conquer Earth? They're interested in your world, yes. My mother, as High Counselor, has been working to keep them away, but they grow more insistent. Zara took Lily's hands in hers. I think she hopes our connection might help. A bond between our worlds. How could I possibly help with that? I'm just a botanist. You're more than that to me. Zara's fingers traced patterns on Lily's palm, and sometimes love between worlds can change everything. On the 7th day, they made the final jump. When the stars stopped stretching, a new world filled the ship's view screen. Nixos Prime hung in space like a jewel. Deep purple oceans, land masses of silver and gold, and clouds that swirled with colors Lily had no names for. It's beautiful, she breathed. Wait until you see the cities, Zara said, pride in her voice as she guided the ship toward the planet. They descended through layers of clouds, each one thinner and more colorful than the last. As they broke through, Lily gasped. Below them spread a vast city of crystal towers that caught the light of twin moons and broke it into rainbows. The buildings seemed to grow from the ground rather than being built, twisting upward in shapes that defied Earth architecture. Some appeared to float, connected to the ground by thin bridges of light. Gardens hung in the air between towers, filled with plants that glowed with their own inner light. That's the capital city, Zara said. And that... She pointed to the tallest structure, a spire of black crystal that rose above all others. Is my mother's palace, where the High Council meets. Where we'll be staying. The nebula whisper slowed as it approached the palace. Lily's heart pounded. She had thought herself brave, traveling across the stars for love. Now faced with the reality of meeting Zara's family, not just any family, but apparently the rulers of this world, her courage faltered. What if they don't like me? She asked, hating how small her voice sounded. Zara turned to her, taking Lily's face in her hands. Then they are fools. But my mother is no fool. She will see what I see in you. She pressed her forehead to Lily's, a gesture she had explained was deeply intimate among her people. Remember, no matter what happens, what we have is real. Nothing can change that. The ship landed on a platform that extended from the palace like a leaf from a branch. As the door opened, Lily took a deep breath of alien air. It smelled like thunder and flowers and something she couldn't name. Ready? Zara asked, holding out her hand. Lily took it, feeling the warmth of those starry fingers around hers. Ready? Together, they stepped out onto the soil of another world. The palace of High Counselor Celine made Lily feel tiny. The ceilings soared so high she could barely see them. The walls shimmered like black water, reflecting strange lights that seemed to move on their own. As they walked through long hallways, Lily noticed the floor was slightly soft under her feet, almost like walking on moss. The palace is alive, Zara explained, seeing Lily's wonder. It grows and changes with the needs of those inside it. Guards stood at various doorways. They looked similar to Zara, with the same starry skin, but their eyes glowed with a fierce light. They wore armor that seemed to be made of the same black crystal as the palace, molded to their bodies. Each guard bowed their head as Zara passed. They know you, Lily whispered. Zara nodded. I am the daughter of the High Counselor. Even though I chose to become an explorer rather than stay in politics, my position is respected. They reached a large set of doors that opened on their own. Beyond was a room that took Lily's breath away. It wasn't just the size, though it could have held her entire house several times over. It was the view. The far wall was completely open to the air, showing the crystal city stretching to the horizon. Above, the twin purple moons hung low in the sky, looking close enough to touch. In the center of the room was a table that seemed to grow from the floor. It gleamed like polished obsidian, but had the texture of wood when Lily reached out to touch it. Around it stood 4 figures, all watching their approach with varying expressions. My family, Zara said quietly. Be yourself. That's all I ask. The tallest of the figures stepped forward. Like Zara, her skin contained stars, but hers were brighter, almost painfully so. Her hair floated around her head in a cloud of silver and black. She wore a simple robe that changed color with each movement. Daughter, she said, her voice deeper than Zara's. Welcome home. Mother, Zara bowed slightly. May I present Lily Martinez of Earth? Lily, this is my mother, High Counselor Celine. Lily wasn't sure if she should bow or curtsy or shake hands. She settled for a small bow, copying Zara. It's an honor to meet you, High Counselor. Celine studied her with eyes that seemed to see through her. So this is the human who has captured my daughter's heart. Interesting. You are smaller than I expected. Before Lily could respond to this strange greeting, Zara was leading her to the others. My sisters, she explained. General Lyra, commander of the Nixian Defense Fleet. She indicated a stern-looking woman whose starry skin had a reddish tint. Her hair was cut short, and she wore armor similar to the guards but more elaborate. Ambassador Vela, our voice to the Concordat. This sister was softer in appearance, her stars pale blue, her smile more welcoming, and Science Director Nova, head of our research division. The last sister was clearly the youngest, her stars a vibrant green. She looked at Lily with open curiosity. Welcome to our home, Vela said, her voice musical. We've heard much about your world. But little about you specifically, Lyra added, her tone making it clear she found this suspicious. That's because I wanted to form my own opinions, Celine said. Come, let us eat. We have much to discuss. The food was unlike anything Lily had ever seen, fruits that changed color as they were cut. Meats, at least she thought they were meats, that seemed to shimmer and shift on the plate. Drinks that bubbled and glowed. Is it safe for me to eat? She whispered to Zara. Yes, we analyzed your biology thoroughly before you arrived. Nothing here will harm you. That was both reassuring and slightly disturbing. How much did they know about her? Throughout the meal, questions came from all sides. Your world has so many different governments, Vela said. How do you manage disputes without a central authority? Not very well sometimes, Lily admitted. But we're trying to get better at working together. Your weapons are primitive but effective, Lyra noted. And your warriors show remarkable adaptive thinking in combat simulations. Lily nearly choked on her drink. Combat simulations? You've been studying how humans fight? We study all aspects of new species, Nova said quickly, shooting her sister a look. Your scientific methods are quite inventive, if sometimes illogical. The questions continued, becoming more personal as the meal progressed. What did Lily think about consciousness? Did she believe in fate? What were her intentions with Zara? It felt less like a dinner and more like an exam. When Lily reached for a glowing blue drink, her hand knocked over a tall glass of deep purple liquid. It spilled across the table, flowing toward Celine. Lily gasped, mortified. I'm so sorry, she said, grabbing for something to wipe it up. But before she could, she noticed something strange. Where the liquid touched the table, small crystals began to form. Without thinking, she said, the molecular structure of the table must be reacting with the enzymes in the drink. On Earth, some plant species create crystalline structures when exposed to certain minerals. She looked up to find all eyes on her. If the table is partially organic, this reaction could actually strengthen the cellular bonds. Like fertilizer for crystal. There was a moment of silence. Then Nova burst out laughing. She's right. The ceremonial wine contains trace elements of lunar crystal. It's actually beneficial to the living table. Even stern Lyra looked impressed. Quick thinking. And correct analysis with minimal data. Celine studied Lily with new interest. Perhaps you are more than you appear, Earth botanist. After dinner, Celine led them to a smaller room with comfortable seating that molded itself to their bodies. The others excused themselves, leaving Lily alone with Zara and her mother. Now we can speak freely, Celine said. Her voice had lost some of its formal tone. Zara, you chose well. She is intelligent and adaptable. I told you, Zara said, taking Lily's hand. Wait, Lily said, confused. What's going on? That whole dinner felt like a test. Because it was, Celine admitted. Zara has told you some of the truth, but not all of it. She leaned forward, her eyes serious. The Draxians are not merely interested in Earth. They have discovered something about humans that makes your species valuable to them. Something in your genetic makeup. What do you mean? Lily asked, a cold feeling growing in her stomach. Humans have an unusual adaptability at the cellular level, Zara explained. Your bodies can adjust to new environments, new pathogens, new threats faster than almost any species we've encountered. The Draxians want to use this trait, Celine continued. Their bioweapons program has hit roadblocks. They believe human genetics hold the key to overcoming those obstacles. Bioweapons? Lily repeated, horrified. You mean they want to experiment on humans? Turn us into weapons? Yes, Celine's voice was grim. We've been blocking their efforts to contact Earth officially, but they grow impatient. That's why your relationship with my daughter is so important. She gestured between them. This connection could be the foundation for a more formal alliance between our worlds. Earth needs protection. The Concordat needs your unique abilities. And you needed to see if I was worthy, Lily said, understanding dawning. If I could represent humanity. Not just worthy, Celine corrected. Capable. The coming months will be dangerous for both our worlds. She stood, her robe flowing around her like water. Rest now. Tomorrow we will discuss how to proceed. As Celine left, Lily turned to Zara. Why didn't you tell me all this before? About the Draxians wanting human genetics? Zara looked away. I didn't want to frighten you, and I was afraid you might think I approached you with ulterior motives. She took Lily's hands. But my feelings for you are real. They always have been. The politics, the Draxians, that came later. Lily wasn't sure what to think. Her head was spinning with all she had learned. She was a botanist from Montana. How had she ended up in the middle of an interstellar political situation? What happens now? She asked. Zara's expression was troubled. Now we prepare. The Draxians were invited to a diplomatic gathering tomorrow. It was meant to be a routine matter, but given recent development, she trailed off. Just stay close to me. I'll protect you. That night, as they lay in a bed that seemed to be made of clouds, Lily stared at the alien sky through a window that opened at their approach. The stars here were different. The constellations unknown. Earth seemed impossibly far away. Are you angry with me? Zara asked softly. Lily thought for a moment. No, overwhelmed, yes. Scared, definitely. But not angry. She turned to face her alien lover. I just wish I understood better what I'm getting into. So do I, Zara admitted. Events are moving faster than anyone expected. But whatever comes, we'll face it together. She pulled Lily close, her starry skin warm against Lily's. Sleep now. Tomorrow will bring its own challenges. As Lily drifted off to sleep, she couldn't shake the feeling that those challenges would be greater than either of them imagined. Morning on Nixos Prime came with a riot of colors. The twin suns rose one after the other, painting the sky in shades of purple and gold that Lily had never seen before. She stood at the window watching the crystal city catch and split the light into countless rainbows. Beautiful, isn't it? Zara said, joining her. She was dressed in formal attire, a suit that seemed to be made of liquid stars, clinging to her form before flowing out at the shoulders like wings. Breathtaking, Lily agreed. She looked down at her own clothes, simple earth garments that now seemed dull and primitive. I'm not dressed for a diplomatic meeting. We've prepared something for you. Zara gestured to a corner of the room where a garment hung in midair, suspended by nothing Lily could see. It was a dress in deep green, the color of earth forests with subtle patterns that reminded Lily of leaves and flowers. When she touched it, the fabric felt like water. It will adjust to your form, Zara explained, and the material breathes like your cotton but is much more durable. The dress fit perfectly, moving with Lily as if it were part of her. She caught her reflection in a wall that turned mirror-like as she approached. The Earth botanist was gone, replaced by someone who looked like she belonged in this alien palace. Now you look the part of an ambassador, Zara said with approval. Lily's stomach tightened. Is that what I am now? Earth's ambassador? Unofficially, yes. You speak for your world today. Zara's expression was serious. The Draxians will try to intimidate you to make you feel small. Don't let them. The diplomatic gathering was held in a vast chamber at the heart of the palace. Delegates from a dozen worlds milled about, their forms as varied as Lily could imagine. Some were humanoid like the Nixians, others were nothing like humans at all, beings of light, creatures with too many limbs, entities that seemed to shift between solid and gas. Lily stayed close to Zara, trying not to stare. They joined Celine and the other sisters near a raised platform at the center of the room. Celine nodded to Lily, her expression unreadable. "The Draxians are late," Lyra said, her hand resting on what Lily now recognized as a weapon at her hip. "Typical. Perhaps they won't come at all," Vela suggested. Their last communication was concerning. Before anyone could respond, a sound like thunder shook the room. The huge doors at the far end slammed open, hitting the walls with enough force to crack the crystal. Through them marched a group of beings that made Lily's blood run cold. The Draxians were tall, taller even than the Nixians, with scaled skin in shades of red and black. Their faces were reptilian, with slitted yellow eyes and mouths full of sharp teeth. They wore armor that seemed to be made of bone, decorated with symbols that glowed with an unhealthy light. The lead Draxian stepped forward. His scales were darker than the others, almost black with red patterns that looked like flames. A crest of spines rose from his head, quivering with each movement. "High Counselor Celine," he said, his voice a hissing growl. "How kind of you to invite us to your lovely world." Celine stepped onto the platform. "Ambassador Krell, you honor us with your presence, though we did not expect such a forceful entrance." Krell's mouth stretched in what might have been a smile, showing rows of teeth. "Security precautions. One can never be too careful." He gestured to the heavily armed guards that flanked him. "I hope you don't mind." "Of course not," Selene said smoothly. "Though weapons are usually left at the door." "Are they? How forgetful of me." Krell made no move to disarm. His yellow eyes scanned the room, stopping when they landed on Lily. "And what is this? A human? How unexpected." Lily felt every eye in the room turn to her. Zara stepped closer, her hand touching Lily's back in a gesture of support. "This is Lily Martinez of Earth," Celine said. "A guest of my house and under my protection." Krell moved toward them, his guards following like shadows. "Earth, such an interesting world. We've been trying to arrange a visit, but the Concordat seems determined to keep us away." His tongue flicked out, tasting the air. "Perhaps the human would like to speak to us directly. I'm sure we could offer Earth better terms than the Nixians." "Earth is not open for negotiation," Zara said, her voice firm. "Everything is open for negotiation. Little Starskin," Krell's eyes narrowed, "unless you're afraid the humans might prefer our offer to yours." "The humans don't know you're planning to use them as lab rats," Lily said before she could stop herself. The room went silent. Krell's crest flattened against his head, then rose again, quivering with anger. "You've been filling her head with lies," he hissed at Celine. "We seek a mutually beneficial relationship with Earth. Their genetic uniqueness deserves study, yes, but we would compensate them generously." "By making them into weapons," Lily said, finding her courage. "By turning their uniqueness into tools for your empire." Krell's tail lashed, cracking against the floor. "Bold words from a primitive species. Your world is defenseless against us. We could take what we want." "You would have to find it first," Celine said calmly. "And the Concordat would not stand idle while you invaded a protected world." "Protected?" Krell laughed, a sound like stones grinding together. "You have no formal alliance with Earth, no treaties, no agreements." He leaned down until his face was level with Lily's. She could smell something like burning metal on his breath. "Give us the coordinates to your world, human, and we will ensure your people are treated well under our guidance." Fear turned to anger in Lily's chest. "Never. Then we will find it ourselves. And when we do, your people will learn the cost of defiance." He straightened, turning to address the whole room. "The Draxian Empire officially claims Earth as part of its territory. Any interference will be considered an act of war," the other delegates murmured in alarm. Lyra stepped forward, her hand on her weapon. Celine raised a hand to stop her. "You cannot claim a world you have never visited," she said. "The Concordat laws are clear." "Laws change," Krell sneered. "Power remains," he signaled to his guards. "We're done here. The next time we meet, it will be in battle." As they turned to leave, something snapped in Lily. Everything. The journey across stars. The revelations about Earth's place in the galaxy. The threat to her home crystallized into a moment of perfect clarity. Without thinking, she called out, "I invoke the challenge of champions." The words rang through the chamber. Krell froze. Zara grabbed Lily's arm, her grip painfully tight. "What are you doing?" she whispered frantically. Lily didn't answer her. She kept her eyes on Krell. who had turned back with an expression of disbelief. "The human invokes ancient law?" he said, his voice caught between mockery and surprise. "Does she even know what she asks?" "I know enough," Lily said, remembering what Zara had told her during their journey. The challenge of champions. A dispute between worlds settled by combat between chosen representatives. "If I win, you renounce all claims to Earth and never seek it out. And if you lose?" Krell's mouth stretched in that terrible smile again. Lily swallowed hard. "Then I tell you how to find Earth." "No," Zara stepped between them. "I forbid this." "She doesn't understand." "She understands perfectly," Krell said, his eyes gleaming, "and I accept her challenge." He looked around the room at the shocked faces of the delegates. "Let it be witnessed." The challenge is offered and accepted. Celine moved to Lily's side. "This is madness," she said quietly. "The challenge hasn't been invoked in 1,000 years. And never by a species new to the Concordat. But it's still valid law, isn't it?" Lily asked. "He can't refuse." "No, he can't." Celine's eyes were troubled. "But Lily, the Draxians are warriors. Their champion will be trained for combat. You are not." "I don't need to be." Lily looked at Zara, whose face was a mask of fear. "I just need to be clever. And I need your help." The ancient arena was built into the side of a mountain overlooking the city. Like everything on Nixos Prime, it was made of living crystal, but older, darker. The seats that ringed the fighting floor were filled with delegates from dozens of worlds, come to witness the first challenge in centuries. Lily stood in a small chamber beneath the stands. Zara, Celine, and Nova were with her, making final preparations. "The arena is alive," Nova explained, showing Lily a holographic map. "It responds to the fighters, creating terrain that tests both combatants equally. Since you're from Earth, it will likely generate some familiar elements. Plants, water, earth." "And the Draxian champion?" Lily asked. "Gorn, their most decorated warrior." Lyra had joined them, her face grim. "He's fought in 100 battles and never lost." "Great," Lily muttered. "But you have advantages he doesn't," Nova continued. "The arena contains many varieties of plants, including some from our moon that produce psychotropic pollen. As a botanist, you might recognize and use them." She handed Lily a small device. "This will help you identify them." Zara hadn't spoken since the challenge was accepted. Now she stepped forward, taking Lily's hands. "You don't have to do this," she said, her voice breaking. "We can find another way." "There is no other way," Lily said gently. "You heard Krell. They'll find Earth eventually. At least this gives us a chance." She squeezed Zara's hands. "Besides, I have a plan. Sort of." A horn sounded above them, 3 long notes that echoed through the chamber. "It's time," Celine said. Lily's heart pounded as she dodged between alien plants. Behind her, Gorn's roar shook the air. She heard his heavy footsteps, the swish of his weapon cutting through vegetation. He was fast for his size, too fast. Her scanner beeped softly, analyzing the plants around her. Many were Earth species, oak trees, ferns, even some of the rare flowers she had studied in Montana. But others were completely alien, glowing with inner light or moving on their own. One plant caught her eye, a cluster of purple flowers whose petals seemed to vibrate. The scanner identified it as lunar dream blossom, produces pollen with powerful hallucinogenic effects on most species. Lily changed direction, heading for the flowers. She reached them just as Gorn burst through the trees behind her. His yellow eyes locked on her, his mouth open in a snarl. "Nowhere to run, human," he growled, raising his weapon. Lily waited until he was almost upon her, then dove to the side. Gorn's weapon came down hard on the dream blossom cluster. Purple pollen exploded into the air, forming a cloud that enveloped the Draxian warrior. Gorn staggered, shaking his head. His movements became uncoordinated. He swung his weapon wildly, hitting nothing. "What? What is this?" he slurred, his eyes unfocused. Lily didn't answer. She was already running, searching for more useful plants. Her scanner beeped again, identifying a patch of blue vines. Crystalline creeper. Secretes powerful adhesive when damaged. The crowd was cheering now, voices from 100 different species blending into a wall of sound. Lily couldn't see Zara or her family in the stands, but she felt their presence, their hope. Gorn had recovered somewhat from the pollen. He was following her again, moving more cautiously now. Lily led him toward the blue vines, pretending to trip as she reached them. As expected, Gorn lunged forward, his weapon slashing down. The vines split open, releasing a clear fluid that quickly hardened into crystal. Gorn's feet were caught, stuck fast to the ground. He roared in frustration, trying to pull free. "Clever trick, human," he snarled, but not clever enough. With a massive effort, he tore one foot free, then the other, leaving pieces of his scaled skin behind. Lily was running again, her mind racing. The dream blossom had affected him, but not for long. The adhesive had only slowed him down. She needed something stronger. Her scanner identified more useful plants. A red moss that caused temporary blindness, flowers whose nectar could induce sleep, vines that responded to sound by constricting. She used them all, setting traps throughout the arena, leading Gorn from one to another. But the Draxian warrior was learning. He avoided the plants, used his weapon to test the ground before stepping, kept his distance when Lily tried to lead him into another trap. And he was getting angry. "Enough games," he bellowed, his crest fully extended. "Face me and fight." The crowd seemed to agree. Murmurs of discontent replaced the cheers. This wasn't the kind of combat they had expected. There was no honor in running and hiding. Lily knew she couldn't keep this up much longer. Her breath came in gasps, her legs burned with exhaustion. Gorn showed no signs of tiring. She needed a new plan. Her scanner beeped one more time, identifying a plant she hadn't noticed before, a small, unassuming bush with white berries. Truth seed, fruit contains compound that prevents deception, used in Nixian justice rituals. An idea formed in Lily's mind. A desperate, dangerous idea, but maybe her only chance. She ran toward the pond at the center of the arena. Gorn followed, gaining on her with every step. As she reached the water's edge, she turned to face him. "Wait," she called, holding up her hands. "I surrender." The arena went silent. Gorn stopped, suspicious. "You surrender?" "Yes." Lily tried to catch her breath. "You win. I'll tell you how to find Earth." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Somewhere, Lily was sure Zara was watching in horror. Gorn approached slowly, his weapon ready. "Speak then, human. The coordinates to your world." "I'll do better than that." Lily reached into her pocket and pulled out one of the white berries she had picked. "I'll show you. But first, let's share the traditional Earth custom of eating together after a battle." She held out the berry, a sign of respect for a worthy opponent. Gorn's eyes narrowed. "You think I'm a fool? That could be poison. Then I'll eat one first." Lily popped a berry into her mouth, fighting not to grimace at the bitter taste. "See now, you." Warily, Gorn took the berry. His sense of honor, or perhaps his arrogance, wouldn't allow him to refuse this simple challenge. He ate it, his teeth crushing the fruit. "Now, the location of Earth," he demanded. Lily smiled. "Earth is the third planet from a yellow star, in the spiral arm of a galaxy you call specific coordinates." Gorn growled, stepping closer. "I can't give you those," Lily said calmly, "because the truth is I don't know them." Gorn raised his weapon, then paused. His face contorted as he tried to speak, to threaten her. But no lies could pass his lips now. "Neither do you," Lily continued. "You don't know where Earth is. You've never been there. Your claims were empty threats. We have scouts," Gorn managed to say. "They search for your world, but they haven't found it yet, have they? You were hoping I would tell you. That was your plan all along." Lily stepped closer, her fear replaced by understanding. "You're not as powerful as you pretend to be. The Draxian Empire is just a small group of worlds trying to appear stronger than you are." Gorn's scales darkened with rage, but the truth seed prevented him from denying her words. "We will be great," he ground out. "With human genetics, we could create weapons to conquer the Concordate." "And that's why you'll lose this challenge," Lily said. She turned to address the crowd. The terms were clear. "If I win, the Draxians renounce all claims to Earth and shall not seek it out. I've proven that their claims were false to begin with. They don't know where Earth is, and by their champion's own admission, their only interest is in using humans to create weapons." The light being official reappeared between them. "The human speaks truth. The truth seed's effects are recognized by concordate law." Its voice rang through the arena. "Gorn of the Draxian Empire has failed the challenge of champions. Victory is awarded to Lily Martinez of Earth." The crowd erupted in cheers. Gorn roared in frustration, raising his weapon high. For a moment, Lily thought he would strike her despite his defeat. Then a beam of light hit him, freezing him in place. "The challenge is concluded," the official said. "The terms will be honored." Lily's legs finally gave out. She sank to her knees, exhaustion washing over her. She had won. Earth was safe, at least for now. Strong arms lifted her. Zara was there, her starry face wet with tears. "You impossible, brilliant human," she whispered, holding Lily close. "You could have been killed." "But I wasn't," Lily said, managing a tired smile. "I just used what I know. Plants, people, truth." Selene approached, flanked by her other daughters. For the first time, the High Counselor's composed expression had given way to one of open admiration. "In all my centuries," she said, "I have never seen a challenge won by wit alone." She bowed her head slightly to Lily. "Earth has a formidable champion." Ambassador Krell was being escorted from the arena, his guards disarmed and surrounded by Nixian security. He looked back once, his yellow eyes burning with hatred, but he was powerless now. The challenge was binding. In the days that followed, everything changed. Lily found herself at the center of Nixian politics, no longer just Zara's human partner, but a figure of importance in her own right. Delegates from other worlds came to meet her, curious about the human who had outsmarted a Draxian warrior. A week after the challenge, Selene called Lily and Zara to the High Council chamber. All the counselors were present, their starry faces solemn. "We have made a decision," Selene announced. "The events of recent days have made it clear that Earth can no longer remain isolated. The Draxians may be bound by the challenge, but others will come." "What are you suggesting?" Lily asked. "A formal alliance. Protection for Earth in exchange for cultural and scientific exchange." Selene gestured to a document that hovered in the air between them. Earth would remain autonomous but would receive Nixian technology and guidance to prepare for eventual full membership in the Concordat. And what would Earth provide in return? Lily asked, suspicious. "Nothing but friendship and a fresh perspective." Selene's expression softened. "Your victory in the challenge showed us something important, Lily Martinez. Humans are more than their genetic uniqueness. Your adaptability, your creativity, your determination, these are qualities the Concordat needs." Lily looked at Zara, who nodded encouragingly. "I'm not authorized to make agreements for all of Earth," she said carefully. "I'm just a botanist." "But you are the recognized champion of Earth," Selene countered. "Under Concordat law, that gives you certain authorities. And we are not asking for an immediate answer, only your willingness to help us approach your world leaders to begin the conversation." The responsibility was enormous, but so was the opportunity. Earth connected to a galactic community protected from threats like the Draxians, advancing with the help of peaceful alien allies. "I'll do it," Lily said. "I'll help you reach out to Earth." Selene smiled, a rare sight that transformed her severe face. "Then it is decided. The Nixian Earth Alliance begins today.